Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of BBTV. And in today's video I'm going to be looking at the performance yesterday of Malo Gusto, and I'm going to be asking, should Santos stay or should he go on loan? So, after yesterday's game, there was so much to talk about that I was bound to miss some of the talking points. And so today, I'm just going to do another small video just to highlight two things. First of all, Malo Gusto. What a decent performance by Gusto yesterday. I thought he was very good. He had a difficult opponent in Mitomo. Mitomo is a very tricky winger, and I thought that Gusto handled it really well. Okay, Mitomo did beat him a couple of times, but most times he stuck to his task admirably. And some people came in saying that this guy couldn't defend, but he proved his worth against one of the best wingers in the Premier League. And going forward, he looked good. He didn't go forward a lot, but when he did go forward on his marauding runs, thought he looked decent. So we've got in him, I think, an able deputy for Reece James, because Reece James, we have to go careful with Reece James now, and I feel that we don't have to overplay Reece James now that we've got Gusto in the door, and he's got a few French compatriots with him. He's obviously Badia Shield, when he comes back, is going to be in there. We've got Nkuku, and hoping that Fofana can come back as well. Thiago Silva speaks French, so yeah, so he's can settle well, and I think he's got a bright future at Chelsea. And my second talking point is about Angelo. Angelo again came on and looked good. That's 2 games now he's come in and he's looked decent. And a lot of our fan base are saying that he should go on loan, but I'm of a different opinion. I think this guy is ready now, and I've been on a few spaces of late, and we're talking about what is experience, and some people have made a good point. Experience isn't about age; it's about how much exposure you've had to big man's football, how much first team appearances you've made. This guy's made over 100 first team appearances already for Santos. He started at the age of 15 at Santos, so he's proved that he's got the mentality needed to play on the big scene. And the thing is, when he's a young kid playing in Brazil football's tough. If you've seen some of the tackles before Brazil football, it is really, really physical over there. So he can adapt physically, I think, to the Premier League and to the pace of the Premier League. And I love his intelligence. This guy is passing and movement. It's a joy to see. One touch, getting into space, another touch. And his first touch, I think, is always good. Every time we look at his first touch, it always creates space for himself with that first touch. Good close dribbling, good passing, and his final ball, as I mentioned when we played against Wrexham, his final ball is top class. So these sort of things at a young age shows that maturity, shows that decision making, and I just feel that in and around the first team, playing a bit part role this season, I think he'll doing good rather than going on loan. There's no point in going on loan if he's already had a lot of games under his belt. If he was a young player coming in and he's just starting out, he hasn't played a lot of first team football, then yeah, I can see the point of that. But because he's already established as a player, I think he can come in. And I believe that he can be a good player for us. And what I love about him as well is that the way he already gets Chelsea. You see that desire. You see him want to be involved in everything as well. And he's got his Santos as well there as well. And he's got Thiago Silva. We don't know how long Thiago Silva is going to be with us for. We may just this season. So working with Thiago Silva, a club, a legend over in Brazil, can only do in the world of good. And Santos as well. He's another one, I think I mentioned it in my video, not yesterday because it was like late night, early this morning when I did my review. I think that he would be better served staying at the club also. I just think that he's got that mentality as well. He can deputise in for the Casado if and when we do get him. So I believe that he's a good option to have in the midfield. And why splash out all this money when we've got people there? I think we still need a bit of experience. I'll still try and bring in another midfielder, and probably bring in that Kudos has been talked about a lot at the moment. Kudos is an interesting proposition because he can play across that line. He can play right side, he can play as a 10, left, he can play, I think he's got a middle, he's got pace and power. And he's been brought up in the Ajax way, so he's quite a versatile footballer. But I think with him in there and with Angelo in and around the team, then I believe we've got a good balance to our side. So what do you guys think? Do you think with the Angelo situation, do you think he's better served playing in and around the first team, playing the odd game here and there, or do you think he's best to be loaned out in European football and coming back the season after? Stick your comments in the section below. So guys, don't forget as always to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications to be notified every time I make a new video. So take care, bye bye.